You know what? I remember the day I made the decision. I'm like, I'm gonna take a break from education, even though I've barely even started down that track, and I'm gonna go see what this core place is like. And I checked out a core barbecue. Hey, I'm Ben, and this is how I roll. And I saw Sawyer there. You know, he's in his element. He was flipping burgers back where I left him, back where he used to work at the restaurant I worked at. But he's flipping burgers, just in his element, high-fiving people, talking to people. And the guy was just like, he wasn't a punk kid anymore. He was a man. And I was like, man, any place that can grow people the way that they help grow my little brothers that's a place I want to be a part of. That's a place I want to go. So I'm the creative director for the Core Studio. My job is to provide mentorship and growth and development for core employees seeking encourager roles, which is an opportunity pretty unique to Core, which encourages supports to bring their individual talents to their roles and develop those talents into programming that people actually want to show up for. I'm also responsible for mentoring university students. I'm also responsible for bringing in new artists to the Core Studio to share perspectives and also create relevant workshops for our community to attend. It is also my job to share the artists we serve's work with the greater Core community and promote their individual talents as well. Ideally, my goal is to make the Core Studio a hub that buzzes full of ideas and fun. I also do a few other things at Core. I do trainings, specifically the person-centered thinking training, color spectrums, and I'm a certified gentle teaching mentor, so I have facilitated gentle teaching level 1 and 2 on occasion. For the better part of my professional life, I've served tables and tended bar. But at the same time, I was going to school full-time, so 35 hours a week going to school and 35 hours, tending bar or serving tables, that's a lot of work. So, but the main focus was I served people, and I think that kind of has guided a lot of the direction that my career has gone in.
So fast forward a year.
I found myself as a support. Started with 3 really strong men, and man, are they cool. But I found myself drawn to doing the things that I love to do, which was like finding that spark in people. I truly believe that oftentimes we look for places to take away marks. And what made things so much different for me with them was the fact that I was looking for a way to give marks. And I thought, this is the exact point I need between education and supporting. How can I look to give marks back and find those great sparks of genius, the things that I love about my job now? I got to do that every single day. That's what's most important, is finding ways to be positive, finding ways to share those gifts that you naturally have. That's the part that I loved about supporting those men. Eventually, a new role came open at Core called Community Education and Outreach. What I was doing as the Community Education and Outreach guy was I was just doing training. So I took my education background and started applying it to training. So in that time, I became a gentle teaching mentor as well. And that role just kind of took me to where I am here today. So along the way, I was the director of storytelling, which that role just evolved into what I am in now, which is the creative director. But I had to, seek out some other things. I had some other passions that I wanted to, feed a little bit before I actually got there. One day when I was doing the social media aspect of my role, I just came across this creative entrepreneurs post that the Sask Arts Board put out, and it was all about taking your art, so like my art, to the next level and being able to sell that art. And so I thought, okay, cool, I'm going to take this, see if it applies, see if I can make something of at least my own art. And I took it with a colleague, and that's where the idea for the Core Studio started to be developed and was actually born, and proposed the idea of the Core Studio to Michael. And because what we felt we were really missing was a space to do all of those art projects that people were doing, the space to do things in. The studio was born, and then in turn the creative director was born, and I was that guy.
On a typical day, I start with a list, and on that list it starts with like emails, social media, programming, and it's so easy to stray from that list just because the studio is just like this living, breathing organism that's always moving and always bustling, which thank goodness it is. It's what we wanted for this place, but it's really easy to get off track. So some days I'll be like, I'll start at emails and full stop, I become a facilitator, or I become a mentor, or something along those lines, just because that's what the people in the studio needed from me. I mean, yesterday I was banging on a drum and doing a Facebook Live video with our music therapist, just because that's where the programming led us. So on a typical day, I could be doing anything, and I think that that's really just like speaks to what the role is just, you know, you're a little bit of everything. You wear 100 different hats. Alongside of that, I'm supporting people and mentoring people and trying to build what you see here every single day.
One of my favorite memories, or one of the memories that solidifies like why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, is just when I was working with Ruby on her canvas that she's been working on. We go and we start working on that canvas together. When we start building together, she has these questions that are just magic, and that's the stuff I love. When I'm sitting with Ruby and we're painting on her canvas, and we just get into like what they call flow through our conversation, just about the things that she's excited about or things that she wants to know about, learning with her and pulling up my phone and looking it up with her and laughing and learning about those things. That's the stuff that I love about my role here at CORE.